Hey guys, I'm back. I'm real excited for this review because I'm reviewing one of not only my favorite of the series of the Final Destination series, but one of my favorite horror movies overall. Um, I will be reviewing Final Destination Bloodlines. For those of you who don't know, Final Destination Bloodlines is a 2025 American supernatural horror film directed by Zach Lipscovy and Adam Stein, and written by Guy Busick and Laurie Evans Taylor. It is in the sixth film in the Final Destination series, and the last one so far. I don't know if they'll make a new one, maybe not, maybe they will. It stars Caitlin Santa Juana as a college student who inherits visions of a 1969 premonition that averted a deadly skyscraper failure from her dying grandmother, who warns her granddaughter that death is coming for their family. Theo Bronies, who you may have seen in Chucky, Richard Harmon, who you may have seen in Haunting Hour, the episode Nightmare Inn, Owen Patrick Joyner, Anna Laura, Breck Bassinger, and he was also in the Scarecrow episode, and Tony Todd, who you may have seen in Candyman, appear in supporting roles. Alright, let's get started. In 1969, Iris Campbell and her boyfriend attend the grand opening of the Skyview and Observation Tower restaurant. As they all dance to the song Shout, Iris has a premonition of a chain of events that causes the tower to collapse, killing everyone inside. She warns the attendees and prevents the collapse, but in doing so, disrupts Steph's design. 55 years later, Iris and Paul's granddaughter, college student Stephanie Reyes, is plagued by recurring nightmares of the averted incident and returns home seeking answers. She is greeted by her father, Marty, and her younger brother, Charlie, played by Tail Bjornes, I believe. The siblings visit their Uncle Howard, Aunt Brenda, and cousins Eric, Julia, and Bobby. When Stephanie asks about Iris, Howard explains that he and Stephanie's mother, Darlene, were raised in an overprotective, isolated environment, contributing to family tensions and Darlene's absence. Brenda helps Stephanie find letters from Iris that lead to a fortified cabin where Iris now lives, terminally ill with cancer. Iris recounts the Skyview incident and explains that after she prevented the collapse, death began taking the lives of the survivors in the order they should have died, along with their descendants. After Paul's death, Iris documented Death's action in a notebook to protect her family. Stephanie doubts her grandmother's story and tries to leave, but Iris follows her outside, gives her the notebook, and allows herself to be fatally impaled by a weather vane to prove her claims. Yeah, this was pretty brutal. Went up through the side of her jaw or something. Pretty grisly stuff. Iris's funeral, Darlene returns, but Stephanie returns her absence since she abandoned her and Charlie during their childhood. Reading the notebook, Stephanie finds a reference to JB, who discovered someone who defeated death. During a family barbecue, a chain of events kills Howard with his lawnmower in front of the family. Yeah, he got his face shredded. I guess it's pretty brutal. Following Howard's funeral, Stephanie tries to warn everyone that death is coming, but they are reluctant to believe her. A fire breaks out at Eric's tattoo shop, but he survives thanks to his leather jacket. The next day, Stephanie and Charlie attempt to protect Eric, believing he is next, but Julia is crushed by garbage truck's compactor instead. Yeah, this movie is very gory. This is definitely the goriest installment of the Final Destination series, even surpassing ones like Final Destination 4 and other ones. This is definitely the goriest in my opinion. Anyway, an ashamed Brenda discloses that Eric was the product of an affair and is not part of Iris's bloodline, explaining why he was spared. Darlene suggests tracking down JB, who turns out to be William Bloodworth. Fun fact, William Bloodworth is played by Tony Todd, who during filming knew that he was dying of stomach cancer, I believe, so he actually got to choose his own lines, and they were unscripted, and they were something like, let me look them up, Tony Todd lines, Final Destination, Bloodlines. They were emotional and unscripted farewell as a mortician, William Bloodworth in Final Destination Bloodlines. I intend to enjoy the time I have left, and I suggest you do the same. Life is precious. Enjoy every single second. You never know when. Good luck. So yeah, it was dedicated to the audience, and it was kind of sad and emotional because those lines were unscripted. Like, he got to choose those lines because he let the directors know secretly that he was dying of cancer. Crazy that any one of us could die at any moment. Even my dog, even my mom, even my dad, even my sister, even all my friends, all my classmates, any of us, at any time. Death is unpredictable, so like Tony Todd said in Final Destination Bloodlines, you should enjoy every single second because you never know when it's going to be too late. I mean, hopefully there's an afterlife and maybe, but I don't know. I do believe in ghosts and heaven, so I don't know. Anyway, present at the Skyview as a child with his mother and the last to die in Iris's original premonition, he explains that Iris found him years later, and they learned about death's rules together. He explains to the family that there are two ways to defeat death: taking another life or being clinically dead and then resuscitated, citing Kimberly Corman as an example. Bloodworth departs, expecting his own cancer to claim him after Iris's bloodline ends, and wishes the family luck. Eric persuades Bobby to attempt the second strategy by triggering a fatal allergic reaction with nuts and then reviving him. The plan backfires when a malfunctioning MRI machine rips out Eric's piercings. Yeah, this scene was pretty brutal. Like, all his piercings, even, like, well, you know, even it's implied that, you know, I don't want to get this video age restricted, so I think you know what I'm implying. Piercings, you know, down there. I guess that's the most I can say to not get this video age restricted. But yeah, they all got pulled out by a giant magnet. And pulls him in, and a wheelchair impales him and crushes him. Yeah, this scene was crazy. This is definitely it's probably my favorite kill in the movie. Although the spiral through the head, which I'll get to in a second, like the giant metal spring in the head, was pretty gruesome too. But yeah, this scene was so gory. Like, it literally, the wheelchair like ripped through his body, like stretched out through his body. It was quite gory. That was probably the best kill. In a wheelchair and crushes him before a coil from a vending machine launches into Bobby's head. If I think that one is definitely a close second. The scene where Bobby gets a coil from a vending machine launched into his head. Like, you see all his brain matter. Like, it's so gory. This is probably one of the goriest movies I've ever covered on this YouTube channel. I think for me, it's even gorier than films like Terrifier, surprisingly. But that's just my opinion. Stephanie, Charlie, and Darlene drive to Iris's cabin to conceal Darlene from death. They crash to the front gate, and Stephanie's seatbelt jams. The cabin explodes, sending Darlene's RV into the water, where Stephanie begins to drown. Darlene saves Charlie before being crushed by a lamppost. Oh yeah, that must suck. I mean, you see your mother die in front of you by a lamppost. Yeah, it's that's pretty bad. That's not good. And Charlie rescues and resuscitates Stephanie. 1 week later, the father of Charlie's prom date, a physician, informs them that Stephanie was never clinically dead because she was resuscitated before cardiac arrest. Moments later, a timber-carrying freight train derails nearby, and even though the siblings run, its cargo fatally crushes the siblings. The logs crush the siblings, thus ending Iris and Paul's bloodline. As we cut to a title card reading Final Destination Bloodlines before rolling into the credits with the song Shout. You know you make me wanna shout. I don't know, something like that. It's a pretty good ending. Yeah, because, like, it's a twist ending because, like, everyone died. Like, no one survived. All the main characters died. Like, no one can escape death. Like, I mean, we all gotta go at some point, but, I mean, yeah. You just never know when, and that's life. So yeah, this movie, okay, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. At least a 4.5 out of 5. At most, a 5 out of 5. The maximum, obviously. So yeah, I really like this one. It was one of the best films I've ever seen. It was just so cool and, like, so well made, and the story was really good. And it was way better than most of the other Final Destination movies. I'd say my second favorite of the series is definitely Final Destination 2. And then the rest are kind of mid or bad. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite one. I give it at least a 4.5 out of 5, maybe even a 5 out of 5. You guys should definitely check out Final Destination Bloodlines if you haven't seen it. It's a great film, and it's really fun and entertaining. Maybe get some popcorn, might sit like 6 friends over. I would suggest watching all the movies. Like, just doing a marathon, watching all 6 movies at once. Because, you know, it's a fun franchise. Some of them are kind of bad, like Final Destination 4. Some of them are kind of mid, like Final Destination 3. some of them are pretty good, like Final Destination 2, and some of them are amazing, like Final Destination Bloodlines. Um, but yeah, I'd definitely say it's my favorite of the series. And if you guys haven't seen it, I definitely suggest you check it out, unless if you don't like gore, which obviously it will probably be too gory for you. But, it's a fun movie. You guys should definitely check it out. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.